Hi everyone, welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Lindsay. I'm just getting ready to make some tater tot casserole for supper. It's Monday afternoon here, it's 1:06, so I'm just getting started on some supper. But I thought it would be fun to do a week of meals for you guys. I haven't done that type of video in a while, so I thought it might be kind of fun to do something different. So that's what I'm making here for supper tonight. It probably won't be just meals that I'll put in this video. It will probably be, if I bake anything this week, I'll probably include that. The only thing I find with these types of videos is that they do tend to get really long and it's lots of editing. So I don't know if I'll show like every step of everything that I'm making. Some nights it might just be showing you, you know, the final meal or what we're having for supper that day. We'll just kind of see how the week goes and how each day goes. I don't like my videos to be too long. But for tonight's supper, we're having tater tot casserole. So I just have some ground beef cooking on the stove here. This is a super easy supper that everybody likes. So I just have my meat cooking here. I'm going to see if this will be enough meat to get 2 meals out of. We're having tacos later in the week for Jacob's birthday. So we'll see if I can stretch that to 2 meals. I should be able to, because this meal calls for frozen vegetables and other add-ins, so that'll kind of bulk it up a little bit. I'm going to add an onion in here in just a little bit. My meat is all cooked and drained. I added a diced onion in there and a good spoonful of minced garlic. I was trying to decide whether to save half of this for tacos, but I feel like if I divide it in half, it wouldn't be enough for tacos and it wouldn't quite be enough for the tater tot casserole. So I think I'm just going to use all of this in the tater tot casserole, and I'll just have to cook up some more meat for the tacos. But I usually do try and stretch out a package of meat as much as I can, really. I'm just going to run downstairs and get my tater tots out of the freezer and my frozen vegetables, and the goal is to have this all done up and in the dish, and then when the kids come home from school, all I have to do is pop it in the oven. Alright, so I'm going to add in my can of cream of mushroom soup. Let's see if 1 can is going to be enough for all this meat. The recipe calls for ½ a cup of sour cream, but I'm not going to measure that. I'm just put a generous amount in there, and that might make it creamy enough. I think this will be good. I may just even add a splash of milk. I think next we're going to add, I'm kind of following 2 recipes. I have 1 recipe in my recipe binder, and then there's one that I saved on Pinterest, and I kind of just combine. They're very, very similar, but I kind of just combine a little bit of the 2 of them. All right, our Worcestershire sauce. I'm not going to measure that either. I'm going to run my frozen vegetables under some water, just because I found last time they were just a bit crunchy in the casserole. So I'm going to do that just to kind of help them thaw a little bit. All right, recipe calls for 1 cup of frozen veggies. I didn't measure that either. I just add however much I feel like our family will like. I'm also going to add some salt and pepper to this. My meat mixture is all ready to go here. I have my 9x13 pan greased. I have some cheese grated. My one tip that I do recommend is using the brand name Tater Tots. So the McCain ones are the ones I like to use. I've used Great Value, and I think I've used No Name, and they're just not the same, in my opinion anyway. I find the McCain have the nicest taste, and they just crisp up really nice, and they just make the casserole 10 times better, I found. So we're gonna layer our meat and then top it with some of our cheese, tater tots, and then you're gonna bake that in the oven, and then when it's just about done, you're gonna top it with some more cheese just to kind of melt the cheese. I'm just getting ready to put our tater tot casserole in the oven. So I have our oven preheated to 350 and it says to bake it for 45 minutes. And then we're going to top it with our remaining cheese. These guys are getting ready to head out on the trampoline. We got the net on the trampoline yesterday and they've been waiting to go out, and it rained this afternoon, so everything's wet. So are you going to take something out to dry it off?
Oh yeah.
Because you're going to get wet.
I need splashboards.
Okay, we'll go see if you have some in your drawer.
I don't.
I just took our tater tot casserole out of the oven. Well, I took it out of the oven a few minutes ago. It's cooled a little bit. It's looking and smelling delicious. And then I just put together a side salad with arugula, cucumbers, tomatoes, and I added some of this salad topper with just some nuts and seeds in it. And that is going to be our delicious Monday night supper. Welcome back. It's the next day here now. It's Tuesday and I'm back in the kitchen making supper. Our tater tot casserole last night was delicious. I realized when I was showing you the clip of it yesterday before we ate that I forgot to put the cheese on top, but it was still really good. For supper tonight, I had planned to make potato soup, which is a new recipe that I was going to try. I was going to do that in the crock pot. What, Audrey?
Potato soup.
Oh, no, we're not having potato soup now. We're having macaroni and cheese. Audrey and Emily are just getting ready to go outside. Listening to Emily whisper, she's saying, come on, to Audrey. I had potato soup on my menu for tonight in the slow cooker, but Emily and I were gone the whole day and I didn't get a chance to get that going, so we're improvising and I'm making macaroni and cheese. So I just thought that I would show you this meal. So I'm doubling the recipe. So my macaroni is cooked. I just drained that before I picked up my camera. So I have 2 cups of macaroni cooked in there. And then in here I have a half a cup of butter. This is all doubled. A half a cup of butter, a half a cup of flour, 2 tablespoons of onion. And so you melt your butter and your onion and then you add your flour. So we're going to add 2 cups of milk to this and then some shredded cheese. We're going to add some salt and pepper, some mustard powder, get them all mixed together, top it with some breadcrumbs and pop it in the oven. And I think I'm just going to make a side salad to go with it. So a super easy supper. It's 10 to 5. Dave will be on his way home from work shortly, so I'm hoping to get this in the oven. This is always a good, quick, and pretty simple supper to throw together when you don't have a whole lot of time, and so much cheaper than eating out. It would have been so easy to say, well, let's just pick up a pizza or something like that for supper, but anyway, I'm going to finish getting this together. Added 4 cups of milk in here. I use lactose-free milk for Ben. And then we're going to add, I think the recipe calls for 2 cups of cheese. I'm not going to measure that. Add that much to start. Oh. I got this all mixed up. I mixed my macaroni and my cheese sauce, and I just took the 2 heels of bread out of this bun of bread and broke them up and put some melted butter on it. That's a question for you guys. Do you call it the heel or do you call it the ends? You know, the 2 slices of bread? We always call it the heel around here. I'm going to bake it at 375 for about 30 minutes. I don't know if I'll quite bake it that long, just because it's getting late here. It's 5:15, which is, so if this bakes for half an hour, that'll be 5:45. And I usually like to eat earlier than that, so we'll see how it goes. All right, a supper is all ready for tonight. So I baked our macaroni and cheese for about 25 minutes, just until the breadcrumbs were nice and toasted. And we're just having a tossed salad on the side. That is going to be supper for Tuesday night. For supper tonight, I made a potato soup. I will be showing this in another video that you'll be seeing before this meal video comes out. But this has chicken broth, water, carrots, potatoes, onions, celery, a can of evaporated milk. It's really, really good. It's smelling good. That's what we're having for supper tonight. We're also having some broccoli salad and some multigrain buns. Welcome back. I'm back in the kitchen again. I feel like I live out in this kitchen most of the day here. The kids are going to be coming home from school within the next 5 minutes. I'm just getting ready to make some honey baked chicken for supper. I think I've shared this. I know I've shared this on my channel before. This is another really simple, really good recipe. Not many ingredients, probably most of them you have on hand. Honey, butter, curry powder, and mustard. That's it. Super easy. It's super good. We like to serve ours with rice. So I'm just going to get the sauce mixed up, get my rice cooking, so I'll just be able to pop this in the oven come supper time. Here is the recipe. If you want to take a screenshot, like I said, I know I've shared this before. It's a favorite around here though. It's so good. The kids just got home from school. Did everybody have a good day? Yeah, because it's almost gone. Audrey, you're probably going to have to use a spatula. You might need some help.
Can I have a sandwich?
Did you have a good day?
Yeah.
That's good.
Can I have a sandwich?
Yes, Ben, you can have a sandwich. The kids are just making themselves an after-school snack. They're having peanut butter sandwiches. We're getting a bit low on groceries here. So I have 1/3 of a cup of honey in my dish and 1/3 of a cup of melted butter. I'm using chicken breasts. Normally I would use chicken thighs. Chicken thighs brown up nicely in this recipe, but chicken breast is all I have today, so I'm going to use that, and it's going to be fine. To this we're going to add 1 teaspoon of curry powder and 2 tablespoons of mustard. I just took out one of those. So we'll put our curry powder in. If you don't like curry powder, this might not be the recipe for you.
Like I can't get any peanut butter.
Oh, here, Audrey, I'll help you.
Like I got some all one piece.
Adding my 2nd tablespoon of mustard. Get it all mixed. I'm going to cut up my chicken into bite-sized pieces, and we'll just pour this over and bake it. My chicken is all set to go in the oven. I could have maybe doubled the sauce, but I'm hoping that once it kind of cooks a little bit, the liquid from the chicken and just the sauce is a bit thick because my chicken is still a bit frozen. So hopefully it'll be enough sauce once it starts cooking up. Sorry, Ben. Ben's doing some homework with some measurements, so he's getting some different items that he has to measure. Anyway, I'm going to get this in the oven, and I'm going to get some rice cooked to have on the side, and then I'll decide on a vegetable. My chicken's all set in the oven. I just have it set to delay start there, so I don't forget to turn the oven on. I'm just getting started on some brown butter chocolate chip cookies. This is a recipe that I discovered through a friend, and they are the best chocolate chip cookies I have ever made. They're so good. And the secret is that you brown your butter, so that's what I'm doing. I just have my butter on the stove here, and I'm browning it, and then I'll let it cool. I'll show it to you in a second.
Look at this.
So my butter is just about browned here. You'll know it's browned when it obviously starts to turn brown. Mine doesn't normally foam quite as much as this did, but you'll notice a difference in the smell too. It'll get like a nutty smell, and then it'll kind of get like a... it'll smell more like toffee, and then you know that it's brown. We're going to let this brown for another minute, and then let it cool before we mix in our other ingredients. Okay, Ben, you can go ahead. What were you going to tell me? Ben is telling me facts about... What are you telling me facts about?
My book. And
What's your book?
it's called... Wait, one is the facts for that, I forgot what they're called.
The turtles?
Yeah. What are they called?
I forget. Check in your book.
Galapagos. Yeah, they weigh like 500 pounds.
They're heavy, eh?
And 227 kilograms.
Wow.
And I want to show you this. It's
Oh,
huge.
a whale.
Let me see.
Audrey wants to see. So my butter is pretty well browned here. I'm going to get it off the heat. So this is how brown I let my butter get, and I made sure to scrape out all the bits of just butter that kind of settled on the bottom. I'm going to let this cool for a while. I'm going to mix up my dry ingredients, and I'll see you back here in a minute. All right, well, it's a little while later that I'm getting at these cookies. So in my bowl here, me and the kids were outside, so it's actually 5:23. It's probably like 2 hours later. In my bowl here, I have 1.5 cups of brown sugar, 1/4 cup of white sugar, and my brown butter. The lighting isn't very good here to get a good angle for you guys. I guess that's the best I'm going to get. So I mix that in there. I'm going to add an egg and 1 egg yolk that I just have sitting in some warm water. I've added my egg, 1 egg yolk, a tablespoon of Greek yogurt, and a tablespoon of vanilla. So I'm going to get this mixed up. I'm just mixing up my dry ingredients. So in here I have 2 1/4 cups of flour, 1 teaspoon of baking soda. I'm just going to add 1/2 teaspoon of salt and give this a mix, and then I'm going to add it to my wet ingredients. What is that?
Audrey's lunch.
Can you empty Audrey's lunch? Audrey already emptied it, but you can ask Ben if you can empty his. Oh, maybe you didn't. I just added the rest of the dry. Did you empty it, Audrey? Okay. I just got all of our dough mixed up. I just mixed it until the flour was all incorporated, and then I added some chocolate chips. I'm gonna actually see if I have more chocolate chips because I only had about 1/2 bag. I'm gonna let this sit in the fridge for a little bit, and then I will form up my balls, and then I'll put it back in the fridge for another little while. It's important that you let this cookie dough chill. Our supper is all ready, so we have our honey baked chicken, and we're having ours served on rice, and I just cooked some broccoli on the side.
It's tiny, bubbly.
Yeah.
Do you like your broccoli, Emily?
Yeah, it's so small.
It's so...
Tiny broccoli.
Yeah, this one's big.
Yeah.
Well, good morning. It's the next morning. It's 7:52, and I'm just getting to baking my cookies. I thought I would bake a batch of these before the kids went to school. I thought that they could maybe take some in their lunch, but they'll be too warm for that. But they can take them or have them as an after-school treat. So I'm hoping that these turn out. Normally they turn out perfect. You're supposed to put your dough in the fridge for a few minutes and then take them out and form them and then pop it back in the fridge. But mine sat in the fridge for a while, and then I took them out and had to let my dough kind of rest for a little bit because it was so cold, and I left them on the counter for probably 2 hours and then formed my balls and then put them back in the fridge. So we'll see how they turn out anyway. They're going to taste good either way. I have my oven preheated to 350, and we're going to cook these for 9 to 11 minutes. I'm going to go 10. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome to another day, another supper. I cooked a whole chicken in my Instant Pot. The other night for supper, I didn't add that to this video, but this is what's left. It's not looking very pretty here in this dish, but I'm going to make some homemade soup for supper. So I'm going to take what chicken is left, and I'm going to put it in this container in the fridge, and I'm going to put the bones and probably an onion. I have a little bit of leftover celery. I'm going to get that in my Dutch oven here and get that cooking in the oven. For some soup, I'm also going to make some Dutch oven bread. I've never tried that before, but I'd like to have something with our soup, and I don't have any crackers, so I thought I might try that. It's supposed to be pretty easy. So anyway, I'm going to take all the chicken off of here and get the bones in my Dutch oven. But I'm probably not going to record that part, but I'll see you back here when I'm ready for my next step. All right, so I got my chicken all off of the bones. I ended up with a fair amount of chicken. I'm wondering if I can take a little bit of this and make Dave a sandwich for his lunch tomorrow. We'll see. But that's pretty good considering all 6 of us ate off that chicken the other night for supper. So that's what was left. Everything else went in this pot. I also put an onion in here, all the bones, some onion, some celery, salt and pepper, celery salt, a little bit of garlic powder, and I'm just going to stick this in my oven at, okay Emily, I'm going to stick this in my oven at 350 degrees and just let this cook for a couple of hours. Okay, so I'm going to get started on this Dutch oven no knead crusty bread, this is called. If Emily stops digging in the bowl there, you'll probably hear me. 1.5 cups of warm water. This isn't a recipe that I've made before, so we'll see how it goes. 1 package of yeast. Mix together the warm water and the yeast.
Is it?
2 1/4 teaspoons. Here, do you want to put this in?
Yeah.
1,
2,
2, and then just a little bit. Hold on, a little bit less.
2, 3.
There you go.
And now when you mix it. Now when you mix it, Mama.
Yeah, we're gonna mix it. Hang on now, I'll get you a spoon.
I need
Here, you can mix it up with this.
Okay.
Mix your warm water, your yeast, and some salt.
Oh, it's all white.
Okay, then we're gonna add half of a tablespoon of salt. Do you want to add that in there?
Yeah.
I'll have my helper here.
What's that smell?
Probably the yeast. Can you take your foot out of the drawer? And then we're going to add 3 1/4 cups of flour. Okay, that's good. Do you want to add the flour? We're going to do 3. 1.
2, 3, 4.
Hang on.
Can't make it.
Yeah, just 1 sec. We have to put more flour in.
Okay. 2.
Oh, okay.
Now can I mix it? Can I mix it now?
Yep. It doesn't seem very wet. It says that it's supposed to be a wet, sticky dough. It doesn't seem very wet or sticky.
It is hard. That's a good.
All right, there's our dough. I added some more water to mine. I didn't measure how much. It wasn't sticky at all, and now it is. So we're gonna cover this with a towel. It says to let it rise for 2 to 3 hours. It's 20 after 1 now, so I'm trying to figure out my timing for all this with Ben's. What do you want to do? Wash your hands?
I want my hand.
Oh, you want to mix the dough with your hands?
Yeah.
Oh no, we're not going to do that right now. I'm trying to figure out the timing with all this with Ben's piano lesson, but anyway, I'm going to let this sit on my stove where it's warm because I have my broth in there. I'm going to cover it with a towel and let it rise, and hopefully it doubles. I'm just getting my veggies prepped for my soup. I just cut up these potatoes. I just have them sitting in some cold water because I'm going to be leaving for piano, and so I won't add these veggies until I get back, but I wanted to, excuse me, I wanted to have them all chopped up and ready so that when I get home I can just add them to the pot. The kids, yeah? Yes, you can watch something. The kids just got home from school. They're having their snack. Ben's practicing his piano. And I'm still trying to decide when I'm going to put my Dutch oven bread in the oven. I just took my broth out of the oven. So I'm going to strain that. That was in the oven for a couple of hours. It's almost 4 o'clock here. My bread, I would say that that has doubled in size. So I have my Dutch oven warming up in my oven. I'll let that heat up for another 20 minutes in there. And then we're going to take our dough and kind of shape it on, it says parchment paper, but I don't have any. So I think I'm just going to use some tin foil. Get our bread going. I already have my vegetables all chopped for our soup, so I'm going to strain this and then add my vegetables. The kids are outside. I don't know if you can see them or not. Emily is on the swings and Audrey and Jacob are on the trampoline. Ben has gone to piano lessons and my mom's going to pick him up. So that worked out really well that, that she picked him up so I could get this bread and this soup done. So I added my vegetables. I drained my broth and added my vegetables. I didn't save any of that chicken for sandwiches for Dave. I added it all to my soup. And then I have this leftover gravy that I'm going to add in here as well. I think I'm going to have to use a spoon for that.
Ribs.
I just took our bread out of the oven. It has to go back in for another 5 to 10 minutes, but I wanted to show you how pretty it looks. It looks so good. So we're supposed to take the cover off now. That is hot. I can feel it through the oven mitt. And then this goes back in for another 5 to 10 minutes to brown it up. Our soup, well, that's not looking that hot right now because, well, actually it is looking hot, but it needs to be kind of stirred around. I'm going to get this back in the oven, but I need to use 2 hands. This goes in for another 5 to 10 minutes just to get it nice and golden brown. And I'm hoping it tastes good because I think I'm going to send some soup and bread over to my neighbor. All right, well, our soup is all ready here. Potatoes, sweet potatoes, carrots, and I just threw a few frozen vegetables in there. I meant to show you my pretty loaf of bread and I sliced it and forgot to show you guys the finished product, but it looked really good. It tastes good. So that is going to be our supper for tonight, some homemade soup and some Dutch oven bread. Well, that is the last recipe that I'm going to share in this video. I hope you enjoyed coming along and spending some time in my kitchen with me over these past few days. Any recipes I will link in the description box below if I didn't already show them to you so you could take a screenshot. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you guys on Monday with another lunch video.